Unconditionally is a power ballad by American singer Katy Perry, released as the second single from her fourth studio album Prism. It was released as the album's second single on October 16, 2013. Inspiration for the song came primarily from a humanitarian trip to Madagascar that Perry made in partnership with UNICEF. Having been surrounded by what she described as unconditional love, she co-wrote it with the song's producers Dr. Luke, Max Martin and Cirkut to reflect that feeling. Unconditionally is styled in rock, backed against a bassline and percussion. Music critics were divided in their reviews of the song, who highlighted Perry's vocal delivery. Others, however, were not as flattering of the track. It peaked at number 14 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and number 25 on the UK singles chart, and while it failed to replicate the commercial success of predecessor Raw, the song still reached the top 10 in 13 countries. The single release was promoted with an Instagram-based campaign, a lyric video directed by Ayat and Imura and live performance Caesar one of the latter, at the American Music Awards of 2013, was the center of controversy due to accusations of cultural appropriation and racism. Brent Bennett also served as the director for the track's music video, which adopts the theme of love and uses a series of metaphors to enrich its concept. Writing and production, Unconditionally was written by Perry alongside its producers Dr. Luke, Max Martin, and Cirkut. Perry denoted the song as her favorite within the record. She told MTV in November 2013, "I love this song because not only can it be a romantic, intimate song, but it can be about the type of love that a mother has when she sees her first child, or best friends or partners. It's a transcendent love, it's not just relationship status." She also mentioned that she wrote the song bearing in mind the sentiments she had felt during her UNICEF humanitarian trip to Madagascar in April 2013. Such sentiments inspired her to delve into the theme of unconditional love. She stated that, while on that voyage, Perry and her team would go in cruises up the mountain to see newly constructed schools. After observing a group of children, she realized that even without social networking, they felt pure, unconditional love towards each other. Inspired by that situation, the song was described by Perry as approaching all forms of love. "I love this song because not only can it be a romantic, intimate song," she expounded, "but it can be about the type of love that a mother has when she sees her first child, or best friends. It is a transcendent love, not just relationship status." Unconditionally was also inspired by the acceptance of one's flaws in a relationship, which Perry believed was relatable to listeners. It was engineered by Peter Carlson, Clint Gibbs, Sam Holland, and Michael Ilbert, with assistance by Eric Elans, Rachel Findlin, Justin Fox, and Corey Bike, at the MXM Studios in Stockholm, Sweden and Conway Recording Studios in Hollywood, California. Perry also handled vocal production. Engineering for mix was carried out by John Hands and final mixing was helmed by Serban Guinia at the Mixstar Studios in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Composition: at a length of 3 minutes and 48 seconds, Unconditionally is a power ballad, which is styled in the genre of rock. According to the sheet music published by Cobalt Music Publishing America, Incorporated at musicnotes.com, it is written in the key of E minor. It paces at a moderately fast metronome, at approximately 129 beats per minute, while it is set at a 4/4 time signature, following a chord progression of E-Ca-Ga-D. Perry's vocals in the track span from G3 to C5. The track's uncluttered instrumentation features woodblock percussion and a dramatic bass line. Lyrically, Jason Lipschutz from Billboard deemed it the most mature offering on Prism, claiming it served as a predecessor to Perry's 2010 single Teenage Dream. Releasing promotion: in September 2013, Perry teased the release of the song as the second single from Prism, without revealing its title or date. However, MTV concluded that such song was Unconditionally, which she discussed during a listening party for the record. The release was confirmed by Billboard. The track debuted on October 16, 2013 and was serviced by Capitol Records to contemporary hit radio stations in the United States on October 22, thus accompanying the album's release. The next day, It was sent to Australian radio stations. A CD single was released in Germany on November 22, the same date it was serviced to radios in Italy. In France, imports of the CD started being sold on December 3. A remix version of the song by Johnson Somerset was featured on a compilation album entitled Songs for the Philippines, benefiting those affected by Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines. The lyric video for Unconditionally, directed by Iyata Nimura, was released on October 18, 2013. Set in a monochromatic pattern, it features actresses Janelle Shirtcliffe and Erica Linda, who appear naked. As Shirtcliffe mouths the song's lyrics, which appear in white and fade slowly, Linda looks painfully into the camera. They are only shown together by the end of the video, in which scene they look into each other's eyes. The video is different in style and approach from the song's official music video, which is retro-styled. Fans were invited to participate in an Instagram-based campaign, in which they could upload a photo of what unconditional love meant to them, along with their story and location in order for it to appear on a Prism map of the world. Critical reception: Jason Lipschutz from Billboard deemed the song a visceral ballad capable of conveying its theme of relationships. John Walker from MTV praised the track and felt that the song could be written from the perspective of Jesus and denoted possible Christian undertones lying. Kitty Empire of The Guardian reckoned the track was ungainly and adverbial. Helen Brown of the Daily Telegraph wrote that its lyrics had self-help lingo, although she remarked that Perry's genuine faith in it, along with her wit and sense of fun, powers her through. Kevin Fallon from the Daily Beast regarded it as adequate for a Nicholas Sparks adapted movie, however, he noted that Perry's vocal delivery saved the song of being schmaltzy. Hitfix's Melinda Newman graded the track with a B. She felt Perry's voice sounded soaring, and opined that the theme of the song resonated due to Perry's vocal and overall delivery. Glenn Gamboa of Newsday thought Perry ruined the track, which he deemed decent, for pronouncing the song title as Unconditionally. In his review for Prism, John Dolan from Rolling Stone wrote that the song set stark revelations to torrential Euro splendor. Katie Woodard from NUS said the song's power ballad approach highlights Perry's vocal performance. Trent Wolfe of The Verge, however, thought the song was part of the group of the Prism tracks that could benefit from a preciously strummed six-string instead of beats and synths. Digital Spy's Robert Copsey awarded the song with a 4 out of 5 points rating, writing that Perry sounded effortless as compared to her peers. Commercial performance: Unconditionally debuted on the US Billboard Hot 100 at number 30. The next week, it moved 5 spots up to number 25. It further moved 3 spots the following week. On its 4th week, the track went to number 16 and 1 week later it rose 1 spot. It peaked at number 14 and started plummeting from there on. In doing so, it was Perry's second single to miss peaking within the top 10 of the chart. On the component charts of Billboard, Unconditionally enjoyed success it peaked atop the Hot Dance Club Songs, while reaching number 7 on the Adult Top 40 and number 16 on the Adult Contemporary charts. On the Pop Songs chart, it peaked at number 8. The song has sold more than 1 million copies in the United States. Consequently, it was certified platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America. Unconditionally achieved moderate success in oceanic regions. The song debuted and peaked at 11 on the Australian singles chart. It then gradually descended down the charts and has spent a total of 13 weeks, marking it as Perry's lowest spanning single in Australia. The song however received a platinum certification by the Australian Recording Industry Association, denoting more than 70,000 copies sold. In New Zealand, the song entered at 26, where it ultimately peaked. Unable to peak higher, the song spent 10 weeks on the singles chart. It subsequently became Perry's lowest spanning and peaking single in New Zealand. In Europe, the song performed moderately as well. It reached its highest position of number 5 in Bulgaria while having its lowest peak in Russia, at number 69. It reached number 16 on the A3 Austria Top 40 Euro, where it spent 12 weeks Euro, and the Croatian Airplay radio chart. On the Italian, German and Czech single charts, it was able to peak within the top 10, at number 6 for the first two and number 8 on the latter. In Italy, it sold more than 15,000 copies and was certified gold by the Federation of the Italian Music Industry. On the French SNEP chart, it peaked at number 38, and was Perry's third single to miss the top 20 there. In the United Kingdom, Unconditionally reached number 25. While in Ireland it peaked at number 27. It fared better in Slovakia where it charted at number 11. In Belgium it reached numbers 49 and 26 in Flanders and Wallonia, respectively. In the Mexican Monitor Latino single chart, it managed to peak at 17 while in Netherlands, it reached number 32. The track charted at numbers 26 and 27 in Spain and Poland. Music video. Production and release. The music video for Unconditionally, directed by Brent Bonacorso, was filmed in London during October 2013. It was partly inspired by the costume drama films Dangerous Liaisons and Anna Karenina. During an interview with MTV, Bonacorso talked about the concept for the video. He stressed that he wanted to match the song's tone with its visual, explaining that he wanted to depict a more mysterious, elegant and sophisticated world to live in, less about a time period and more about creating an impression and a feeling. As the song essentially discusses the feeling of love, the video itself sees Perry amidst scenarios which indirectly refer to the power of it. The video is set in two different spaces, as Perry is found both in a snowy background and in a ballroom surrounded by dancers, which are mostly dressed in black apparel. Those settings were used to represent different parts of the subconscious. The video premiered through MTV on November 19, 2013. Synopsis. It begins with Perry, sitting on the ground while mouthing the lyrics and staring at the camera. As she finishes the verse, the camera shifts to the ballroom, in which the dancers start to dance. The song's chorus kicks in, and she is now found in the ballroom, in the middle of all the dancers. As the second verse begins and she has an owl on her arm, which she lets go and flies. The bird represents something strong, free, and powerful. Bonacorso added, she lets it go into the world and that literally letting this force within her go wild. That's an important part of love, is that you have to let it go. The video also shows Perry, with a golden dress and cross-shaped earrings, with flames on her body. By the second repetition of the chorus, a bed gets lit on fire, which the director included to refer to love that can burn you like an inferno. As the song reaches its climax, Perry gets hit by a car, with tiny broken debris from it shattering behind her. This scene symbolizes the experience of true love, that changes your world, and hits you out of the blue. This part of the visual happens simultaneously with a depiction of Perry surrounded by colorful flowers, which is used to contrast the more violent nature of falling in love and the softer part of it, the joyful and wonderful feelings. Live performances. On October 22, 2013, Perry first performed Unconditionally along with her other Prism tracks at the iHeartRadio Theater in Los Angeles, California. She also performed these songs the next day when hosting the We Can Survive concert along with friends Bonnie McKee, Casey Musgraves, Sarah Bareilles, Ellie Goulding, and duo Tegan and Sarah at the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles. Perry also performed the song on the Australian version of The X Factor on October 28, 2013 alongside Raw, and also performed it on the Australian breakfast programme Sunrise the following day. On November 10, 2013, she performed Unconditionally at the 2013 MTV Europe Music Awards. She also opened the American Music Awards of 2013 on November 24, 2013 with a geisha-inspired performance of the song. On December 5, 2013, Perry performed the song on the Italian X Factor. On December 13, 2013, Perry also performed the song on The Voice of Germany together with 4 contestants of the show. On December 14, 2013, Perry performed Unconditionally at the NRJ Music Awards 2014. She also performed Unconditionally on the Season 10 finale of The X Factor on December 15, 2013. Perry performed a stripped-down version of the song on the December 20, 2013 episodes of The Ellen DeGeneres Show and Alan Carr, Chatty Man. Controversy. The performance of Unconditionally at the American Music Awards led to accusations of cultural appropriation and racism from Asian American groups and media outlets, from the Wall Street Journal to Psychology Today, for Perry dressing up as a geisha during the performance. Her stylist and America's Next Top Model creative director Johnny Wujcik explained later, "Katy and I both love Japan, the people are so kind, there's so much there." Visually then described his process of finding authentic kimonos, then cutting them up according to his own inspirations. Perry's friend Lady Gaga defended her, stating, "I think people are generally too sensitive and they should just leave her be." Track listing: CD single, Unconditionally a Euro 348, Unconditionally a Euro 348. Charts and certifications. Charts. Release history. See also, List of number 1 dance singles of 2014. References